Okay, surveyor's flags. Let's see. That gives me an idea. What could I do with those? I bet I could make an Alabama rig out of them. Let's see. Try this one and this one. Alabama rig out of surveyor's flags. Well, let's give it a shot. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is to take these flags off. We're not going to be needing those. These look like they're about 21 inches long. So that should give me enough to get, a couple of, maybe 4 7-inch arms and a couple of 5-inch arms. Let's see. I've already marked off 7 inches, so let's start there, and I'm going to cut there. There. Two. This one's a little shorter than 7, so I'm going to take maybe an inch off of that. Maybe an inch. Okay. Let's do the same thing here. Seven inches. 7 inches. Let's see, I've got 4 of these 7-inchers, a short 4 5-incher, another 7, another 7. So I got 4 7-inch pieces of wire. Now let's take these over to a finishing nail that I've driven into the side of my garage door. Let's see what we can do with that. Take this vice grip, put one of the 7-inchers in there, lock it up, take the, put it about, let's see, maybe an inch or so away from the end of this nail that I've driven into the garage door, and bend it this way once. Yeah, it looks like it'll work. Now let's take it and bend it again, way over, and way around, and way around, and way around again. There. All right. So there we are. I've got 3 more to go, plus that small one. But let's go ahead and do the small one so I can show you what that's all about. All right, this time we're going to go again. I'm going to take the small one. I'm going to wrap it around once, twice, 3 times the charm. Now, if I were using the big ones, I'd be done, but since I'm using the smaller version, I'm gonna go ahead and do both ends. Once, twice, and 3 times the charm. So, now we're going to end up with 4 7-inchers that are twisted around on the end, and the small one that's twisted on both ends. Now, I'm going to take my wire cutters, get it as close as I can, snip it off the little end. Same thing on this end, close as I can. So now we have that piece that doesn't have all the little edges sticking out. We're going to do the same thing with the 7-inch pieces. Close as we can. Now, what we still have now, we still have maybe a little bit of a point sticking up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind them down. Now I caution you, no matter what you're using, you want to make sure you have some type of eye protection on. And all we're going to do is kind of grind this little baby down. And if you can see it, it's pretty close. Now we'll pick up the next one. We'll work on that. That looks pretty good. And finally, the last one. Okay, there we have it. We've got our 4 7-inch pieces all ground down, looking nice. And our 5-inch piece, same situation, all ground down and looking pretty nice. Now, next in our process, we're going to find yourself an old electrical cord of some type. And what you're going to do is cut a piece off, oh, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 inches, 6 inches maybe, something like that. And you're gonna peel it apart, and we won't take the time out to show you, but basically you're gonna peel it apart, and what I want you to do is to pull out this copper wire on the inside, because that's going to become very important in the next step of our process. Roughly in the middle of this bunch of material that we've got here. There we go. We'll have maybe about, oh gosh, maybe an inch or so sticking out. And then we're going to reach down and we're going to pull out some copper wire. Now the reason we're going to pull out the copper wire is we need something for this solder to hang on to. And this copper is an excellent conductor. So we're just going to begin by wrapping this material up. Doesn't have to be beautiful and perfect, just get her started. Start again right here. Just wrap it around and 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 around. Am I driving you crazy? Start at the bottom, lay your soldering iron at the bottom, give yourself a lot of room. Now folks, listen, I am not a solderer. I am not a man that is what you would call a handy person by any stretch of the imagination. So some of you who are really good solderers are probably going to laugh at me, but I'm going to start and I'm going to move up, lay down a line of solder all along. I'm going to flip it over to the other side as soon as it's cool enough. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Oh, I think, there we go. And we'll look over here for this brother. Bring him up. And we'll look over here and bring this final brother up. And we've now created the skeleton of our Alabama rig. Here we go. I use a 3/8 ounce flathead jig head, not the round head, but a flathead. I'm going to attach those to a Zoom Swimming Super Fluke Junior white ice. Except I'm fishing now in the winter time, so in the winter I tend to want to go toward a chartreuse. Okay, now we're just going to pick up our jig and start to put him on. Move it on up, and there we have it. And attach it to the 6-inch leader. And as I mentioned, we're going to need 4 of those. Okay, now we've got all of our lures attached. The next step now is to go ahead and get them hooked up to our rig. It's pretty simple, pretty quick. Well, I'm going to go ahead now. I went ahead and put the 18-inch on as well, so I'm going to go ahead and get him put on. A little easier here. And finally, to the last one. And here you have it, your own Alabama rig, all ready to go, all ready to be trolled out the back of your boat to pick up stripers, bass, crappie, white bass, walleye, you name it. This bait will catch it all. Thanks, and I hope you pick something up. This is Doug Cayley saying so long.